Are you looking to get shredded? Are you looking to change your life forever? Who isn't, right? That's what I'm here to help you out with today. This video is focusing mainly on how to calculate calories and macronutrients for a cutting phase. In other words, losing fat, burning fat, losing weight. That's all this video is going to rely on, but this is leading up to a series that I'm going to be coming out with soon as I start my next cut. That's going to be on January 1st, by the way. That is when my cut's going to be starting, and there's certain procedures that I like to go through, certain things you have to do in order to ensure that your cut is as successful as possible and as tolerable as possible. So I'm very excited to start this cut. I'm very excited for you to follow along and learn as much as you can. I'm using this as an opportunity to teach as many people out there as possible how to do this stuff correctly, how to change your life, how to change your body composition forever. Now, what is it that makes me credible to do this? Well, I myself have transformed my body over several years, and I've been coaching and training people for that long as well. So I have gone through several cutting phases, and I'll put some pictures up on the screen to show you my before and afters. I'm gonna have a transformation video coming as well to really show you the progress over time. Now, I do have a website. I'll put the link right there. Under development right now, I'm going to be having a page dedicated just towards transformations that I've helped my clients go through. So be on the lookout for that and you'll see where my credibility lies. I mentioned today is all about setting up the calories, macros, and basically preparing leading up to that phase when you're actually going to start the cut. Now, a brief description of what a cut is. Simply put, it is a period of time where you enter a caloric deficit. You hear me talk about this all the time, but in case you haven't been following, that is basically meaning you're eating less than you're burning, all right? Now, I've got tons of things about how to get yourself into caloric deficits and how to control your food portions and all that kind of stuff, tracking your food. Now, when you go into caloric deficit, the only real way to know how much and if you actually are in one is via two ways. One is weighing yourself often, and two is tracking your calories, okay? And on top of that, a little subsection of that would be tracking macronutrients, meaning carbs, fats, and proteins. So step number one, you have to find your maintenance calories. How do you do that? So the first thing you gotta do is you wanna start tracking your food now. Yes, right now. Stop whatever you're doing. If you don't have MyFitnessPal on your phone, do it. Oh, tracking calories? What kind of life is that to live? Yeah, what about being a fat piece of shit for the rest of your life? Is that a good one? Might be a little aggressive. I don't know if I'm gonna leave that in the video or not, but cheers. So, you're gonna have that app, and I want you to start tracking immediately, all right? So track, let's say today you start, go for at least 7 days straight. Now, in the meantime, while you're tracking, you should be weighing yourself in. I would say every morning, but you know, if you're scared of the scale, then you know, make it 3 times a week, but make it a consistent basis. And from there, you're gonna determine whether or not you're losing or gaining weight. Let's say on a daily basis, you're consistently eating between 1,900 and 2,100 calories, right? So that would be an average of 2,000 throughout the week, over the course of the week, every day. Now, if at 2,000 you find that you are gaining weight, simple math would suggest that you decrease calories in order to put you back to a maintenance phase. When you're at maintenance, it means that you are not gaining or losing weight, you're at a baseline. So after the first week, you're gonna cut the calories back 100 to 200 calories, and you're gonna see what your weight's looking like then. If your weigh-ins are still going up, then again, do the same thing. Repeat the process until you get, over the course of a week, to a stable weigh-in. Now, it's very important at this time when you're trying to find your maintenance that you track your calories as accurately as possible, because any deviance can really go a long way in throwing off what your maintenance calories are, and that will in turn directly affect, you know, what you put your caloric deficit at and your macronutrient percentages, and that could really throw things off right off the start. One of the best tips for that would obviously be just eat the same or around the same foods every single day. Alright, so you figured out your maintenance calories. Now step number 2, we're still focusing on calories. You're gonna find out what your caloric deficit is gonna be. In other words, how many calories are you gonna drop under your maintenance? Now this is gonna depend on the rate of weight loss or fat loss that you're looking to achieve. So let's say you're looking to achieve 2 pounds of weight loss or fat loss. That is going to be a higher or a greater caloric deficit than obviously 1 pound of fat loss per week. Now when it comes to my personal recommendations, for the most part, for most people, unless it's competitive endeavor, then I would just say, you know, losing 1 pound per week is the safest, best, and most sane option to go with. So keep that in mind. So let's say you're losing 1 pound per week, okay? Now, if you were to do the math, a pound of fat is 3,500 calories. And if you divide that up by 7, that's 500 calories a day, correct? Well, here's the thing. Usually, you're not losing just fat as you decrease calories, especially right off the bat. You're gonna lose a lot of water, a lot of glycogen. It's gonna be a little bit more than that. If you cut the calories quick, it's not just gonna be fat that you're burning, especially throughout the entirety of this cut. So with that being said, I would actually cut it down much less than 500 calories. I would start closer to 150 to 250 calorie deficit. Now you're thinking, well, what if that just slows me down, or what if I don't lose weight as quick? When it comes to weight loss, I know most people are impatient, but if you lose weight too quickly, that can actually impair your performance severely, and you, as a result, will lose quite a bit of muscle and lean mass. So that being said, it's always better to stay conservative as opposed to aggressive. So let's say you found your baseline and it was around 1,800 calories. From there, let's cut it down to 200, and let's say it's 1,600 calories for your deficit. Okay, so you've got your calories roughly. Again, you want to track with your weigh-ins to see how that lines up and adjust from there. But third step is the macros. Okay, so how do you track the macros? Well, that part's actually a little bit more complicated, but there's some easy guidelines to follow. The first thing is you're gonna want at least 1 gram of protein per pound of body weight. Now, of course, if you, for whatever reason, don't want to keep your gains, then hey, don't even worry so much about the protein, you know, just get the same you were getting before, and just add carbs to it to make up for it, right? But I don't recommend that. You've got your protein figured out, and now what you have to understand is protein is 4 calories per gram. Okay, so let's say somebody with a 1,600 calorie deficit, so that's the amount of calories you're looking to get. They weigh 160 pounds. So from there, what you want to do is get 160 pounds of protein. So you're going to input that, multiply it by 4, and that makes it what? 640 calories, okay? So 640 calories, take 1,600 minus 640, and you've got what? 960, right? 960 calories left. Cool. Now the next thing that would be a good guideline would be to take care of your fats, okay? Fats are very essential, especially when cutting, to regulate and maintain your hormone balance. Now, a lot of times if you cut too aggressively, or you cut too fast, or you cut out fat, your hormones, specifically testosterone, estrogen, all of those get way out of line, and that's gonna cause you to usually not be able to stick to the diet as easily because there's so much stress going on and your body is just in a very bad state, and that's when mental problems come up and all that kind of stuff. So you want to make sure that you're getting adequate fat. Now for the fat, let's say you got between 15 to 25% fat. Let's say 20% fat. Okay, so from there, you're gonna grab your calculator, because I don't know about you, but I need one at this point. Okay, so this is what you're gonna do. You wanna make fats 20% of your overall calorie intake. So you're gonna have 1,600 calories total. Now of that, 160 grams of protein, which is 1 gram per pound of body weight, is gonna equal 640 calories. Now, leave that alone. You're gonna take fats, you're gonna make it 20% of your total calorie intake. So again, the calorie intake is 1,600, and we're going to multiply that by 0.2 to get 20%. That comes out to 320. Divide by 9, because again, 9 calories per gram for fats. That comes out to 35.5, or 36 grams of fat, okay? So you've got your protein now, which is 160 grams. You've got your fats, which is 35 grams. And now what we're gonna do is we gotta figure out carbs. Well, that part's easy. If you add up the calories, so it was 36 grams times 9, 324 calories roughly, plus 640 calories. Now 964 calories is already taken up. And remember, 964, we've got 1,600 minus 964. You've got 636 calories left that are all going towards carbs. So simple, we just take that, we divide it by 4, and boom, you've got your carb number, and that's 159, okay? So this is what this 160 pound individual with a general guideline of macros would be following, okay? Now this is actually how you get to a traditional 40-40-20 split, being 40% carbs, 40% protein, and 20% fat, all right? So that's what that looks like. And again, this is a general guideline for how do you come up with your macros and your calories for cutting. I hope this is very helpful for you, and I hope that you understand a little bit more about how to tackle this cut as it's coming up or as you're thinking about doing it, okay? Now, what are the steps going forward? Simple. From here, stay as strict as you can within those calories, and you're gonna have to adjust constantly. So always weighing in, tracking your weigh-ins, and then from there seeing. Eventually the weigh-ins are gonna level off due to metabolic adaptation. From there, you're gonna have to adjust accordingly. Not only that, you have to figure out how you're feeling. So if you're not feeling too good throughout the workouts, you want a little more energy, then you're gonna start manipulating carbs, fats, proteins, that kind of stuff, all changing within each other to find the optimal split that works for your body. Going forward, you just gotta adjust constantly, all right? It's a game of trial and error. That's why we got coaches like myself. If you wanna know more about my coaching services, hit that website up again. Also, I'm very active on Instagram, so go ahead and follow me on Instagram and on Facebook, and I'm always keeping up to date with the stuff I'm doing and tips, tricks, all that stuff to help you out even more, right? So again, hope this helped. Figure out those macros, stay diligent, start tracking today if you're considering cutting soon, and let's make these gains. Get ready for it, January 1st, the most epic cut of our time. All the content is coming, and if you're not subscribed yet, I suggest you do so you don't miss out on what is to come to this channel. Big things, big changes, big transformations. I'm pumped, and I hope you are too. Alright, thanks for watching everyone. Like, comment, sub if you liked the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one.